Welcome to Realize the Infinite. I'm so happy that you are here. I want to talk to you today and ask you a question. Do you have grudges that you're holding on to? And if so, why are you still holding on to them? What purpose does that serve? What is it fueling inside of you? Is it working towards anything, or is it just because you feel angry and you don't have closure on a topic? I'll use my own current situation. I woke up this morning to roughly 2:33 in the morning to a text message string from my cousin. In this, he proceeds to start by boldly stating that I need to find some non-family help to watch my kids. My goddamn kids, as he phrased, and that I was burdening everyone, and that I was selfish and a piece of shit, and many other fun phrases that he threw in there, basically coming seemingly out of the blue. The context also with that being that my wife and I had decided that we wanted to have a weekend away together for the first time in almost 5 years since our children were conceived, born, etc. And so kind of last minute, only a week or two before we were going, we tried to scramble together and get some help, get some family, preferably, just because anytime you have multiple days away, it's always nice to have have family help out, because usually they want to see children and the children love to see them, etc., etc. What it got down to was balancing act between a few of them, my aunts, one cousin of mine, and my parents. But suffice to say, it wasn't a smooth weekend. They were hoping to get some work done at my recently deceased grandparents' house, and didn't get there as much as they'd like because A, we were out of town and didn't get back until late on Sunday night, excuse me, and B, there were a couple happenings with my children. First one being my 2-year-old son taking my aunt's medication and needing to be observed at the ER for a number of hours, and then the following day my daughter getting bit by one of my aunt's dogs. So all in all, my kids are fine so far and seemingly healthy and should be fine and get out of this unscathed in the long run, but it was a less than happy weekend, I'd say, for everybody. And things were, seemingly very life for the most part. So to top it all off, to then wake up, like I said, this morning to a text of being attacked, being told that I had fucked over and fucked up multiple people's lives or schedules or whatever he was referring to, and he even gave me a nice numbered bullet list of named list of whom the individuals were. Suffice to say, I decided to take action, which was a open-ended, loving, place of loving group message to all of my aunts, uncles, and cousins, basically stating that someone had brought to my attention that I was being a certain way and dumping my kids on people and things like that, and wanted to just address it and go over it. Now, very difficult to do, because this could be the ramblings of one cousin who is the only one who feels that way and his own lens, or it could be true that these people he listed were all upset with me, or it could be all of them are upset with me. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I realized that I needed to do it because I'm trying to live in my truth, as well as I think you should. You want to make sure that you're not pushing yourself on others or forcing them to believe what you believe or see what you see, but at least giving that opportunity to say, if you feel this way, let me make amends. Let me talk to you. If you'd like to have a conversation, we can. I am here. I am open. I am not apologizing for what I have done, but I'm happy to move forward. And if you can take it from that lens, honestly, it's scary as shit, and you don't know what's going to happen in the short term, long term, any term. But ultimately, is it worth holding on to a grudge or being mad or being upset? Because I even responded to my cousin in a separate text telling him that I would discuss any of the things that he brought up, except for one thing, and that was referring to my children in a profanity-based manner, which I will never put up for, and I told him that if he ever speaks that way again, that's completely unacceptable. Because ultimately my children are just children. I'm an adult. I'm making my decisions. They are going along for the ride. Sure, they do things that, kids are being kids, but they're not maliciously doing stuff to be mean to people. They might make mistakes or break things or screw up, but it's because they're learning. Much like all of us are constantly learning, but we get caught up in this guise of being an adult, and we have to have all our shit together, and we have to apologize, and oh no, we have to try and make it perfect, that we're never going to hurt somebody. But guess what? We're going to hurt people sometimes. And as long as you're not doing it intentionally or maliciously, then you're at least coming from a place of truth and honesty and love. And you can always move forward if all parties involved are willing to take that same approach. So I want to make sure that you really take this time. Think hard. Is there something you're holding on to? Is there a grudge you have? Is there a grievance? Is there something that's just been bugging you for short term, long term, whatever it might be? Just really think it over and look at it. Is it worth it? Is it worth the energy, the effort, the stress? Because even though my cousin did this and it hurt so bad to hear it and came out of nowhere. And he's somebody I really care about. And I told him I didn't stop caring about him. I still love him. But that also, I'm not going to apologize for who I am and what I'm trying to do, but I'm happy to make amends for anything that I unintentionally may have caused. And I've just now realized to myself prior to making this video that I'm like, I forgive him. I forgive him for saying what he said. He probably has his own reasons that are making him upset and me feeling like he needs to do that. And he decided to lash out in frustration at me instead of talking to me. That's the only part I'm disappointed in, that we couldn't have an open communication. So try and figure out where you stand with that. Comment below. If you'd like, you can feel free to hit me up on Instagram or any other type of correspondence that I list in the details below. Other than that, keep moving forward. Keep living your life. Keep striving for the best that you can be and find your truth. I love you.